I don't know what Stephanie White's doing exactly. I don't have a clue. Again, I don't know what the identity of this team is. I really don't. It seems like they play a different way every game. One could say, well, that's her game plan. She's game planning for each team. How's that working out for you? You got to win games like this. If you're going to compete for titles, you've got to win games like this. She has got to realize Caitlin Clark is her biggest playmaker. And when the fourth quarter gets there, she's got to quit taking the GD ball out of Caitlin Clark's hands.
Enough is enough. What we just saw wasn't just a loss. It was a complete breakdown. The Indiana Fever had control of the game and let it slip away completely. Caitlin Clark was out there battling hard while Stephanie White stood on the sidelines, arms crossed, watching everything fall apart.
I think I have figured out the solution to the Indiana Fever's problems. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. This is what we got to do. We got to put Caitlin Clark off ball. We need to run a motion offense. So when the defense takes away what Caitlin Clark does best, we have other players that can still perform. So when she does have bad games, we're not completely dead in the water. I think that is the best way to move forward with this Indiana Fever team.
Where are the actual plays? Where are the in-game adjustments? This team looks completely lost, confused, disorganized, and honestly not taking things seriously. And that so-called motion offense isn't helping at all. If the strategy is just to slip every screen and hope Caitlin Clark bails them out, then this team is in serious trouble. So, what's really going wrong with the Fever? Good, let's break it down.
Becky Hammon makes adjustments. Stephanie White adjusts her arms. Becky Hammon makes in-game adjustments. Stephanie White makes arms crossed to arms folded adjustment.
You could almost feel it slipping away through the screen. That 10-point lead didn't just disappear. It evaporated like it was never there. And honestly, it didn't even feel like the Aces took it. It felt like the Fever just gave it up, neatly wrapped and handed over. And Stephanie White, just standing there with her arms crossed, watching it all unravel like a collapsing Jenga tower. No timely timeouts, no sideline spark, no visible urgency. Where's the leadership? Where's the push to stop the momentum? How many blown leads does it take before something actually changes? Are we really supposed to keep acting like everything is fine? And this so-called motion offense people keep talking about, where is it? Because what's on the floor doesn't look like a system. It looks like chaos in sneakers. It's giving pickup game energy at a local rec center more than structured basketball. No off-ball movement for Caitlin Clark, no real screening actions, no design flow, just players drifting around, hoping she catches fire and carries everything. That's not an offense. That's just hoping for a miracle. And then there's Aaliyah Boston. She dropped 18 in the first half, smooth, controlled, looking every bit like she was on track for a huge night. But then Becky Hammon made the adjustment at halftime. She started switching everything on screens, took away the easy finishes, and basically shut down the rhythm. Problem addressed. Now the question is, what was Stephanie White's answer to that? Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out there doing everything except cleaning the floor herself. And yes, she went 7 for 20 and 1 for 10 from 3, but look at the context of those shots. Off-balance attempts, heavy pressure, late clock desperation looks. Yet she still finishes with 19 points and 11 assists. That's the strange part. Despite the inefficiency, she's still producing. She's creating for everyone else. Boston gets fed. Mitchell gets looks. Howard gets touches. The ball is moving when she has it. But when it comes to Clark getting something easy, it goes silent. No one's setting her solid screens. No purposeful off-ball movement. No actions designed to free her up. It often looks like the entire offense is waiting for her to manufacture something out of nothing every single possession. So, where's the adjustment to get her clean looks? Where's the structure to put her in rhythm instead of forcing her to bail things out? Because at some point, you have to ask how long one player can keep carrying that load. And then there's the strangest rotation decision of the night.
One of the big highlights for Caitlin Clark, This was her against Asia Wilson, pulling up for a long three right in Asia's face. That was nice. It was. No doubt about it. Right here, I saw this. The Indiana Fever, this was in the first half. They were 8 of 11 from the field off of Caitlin Clark passes. All other field goal attempts, 6 of 19. So if Caitlin Clark's not distributing the ball, hell, this team can't score.
Brianna Turner gets subbed and out of nowhere in a tight game, almost like she's been dominating every night for 20 and 10. But reality check, she hasn't been anywhere close to that production. And the moment she steps on the floor, things fall apart. A turnover, blown defensive coverages, even getting blocked at the rim. At one point, Caitlin Clark is literally yelling instructions at her like it's a first day practice session. Get to the elbow. And then comes the real head scratcher. Dantas doesn't see a single minute. Not one. So what was the plan here? Building confidence? Sending a message? Because whatever the intention was, it clearly backfired in a big moment. It raises a bigger question. Are we just randomly experimenting with rotations now? All off-season, the talk was about depth, how this was supposed to be the deepest Fever roster in years. But in this game, that didn't show up at all. The bench produced almost nothing. 2 total bench points. That's it. Sophie Cunningham scoreless. Sydney Colson scoreless. No impact, no energy, no spark. It looked less like depth and more like empty chairs on the sidelines. Meanwhile, on the other side, the opposing bench was actually contributing, making plays, shifting momentum, and giving their starters real relief. And at this point, you've got Caitlin Clark basically playing superhero for 38 minutes while the bench just sits there watching like spectators. So, where's the player development? Where's the coaching that actually turns role players into reliable contributors? Where's that next player up mentality everyone talks about? Because it's not really depth if you can only trust your top 3 players. Right now, the Fever bench looks almost invisible, like it's not even part of the game plan. And honestly, be real for a second, does anyone actually feel confident in this bench unit? And let's clear something up. Blaming the refs isn't the answer. Yes, Clark gets hit a lot without getting calls. We see it every game. But in this one, the Fever didn't even attempt a single free throw in the first half. That doesn't happen just because of officiating. The truth is, they weren't attacking. They weren't forcing contact. They weren't putting pressure on the defense. Instead, it was all perimeter movement, pass around the arc, settle for jumpers, no real drives, no physical presence inside. And that's how you get no free throws. If you want calls, you have to force the issue. That's exactly what players like AJ Wilson do. That's exactly what Kelsey Plum does. She attacks the paint, goes into contact, draws the foul, and forces the refs to make a call. That's how you earn whistles. But the Fever? They were too passive, and that's why the free throws never came. So no, this one isn't on the officials. It's on Indiana. All of it. And here's the bigger question you've got to sit with. Are we watching Caitlin Clark get overcoached? Because the version we're seeing right now doesn't fully match the fearless, deep range, shoot from anywhere scorer from Iowa. Instead, she's hesitating more, passing up shots she used to take without thinking, and even glancing toward the bench before decisions. That doesn't look like natural instinct. It looks like hesitation being introduced into her game. It almost feels like she's being micromanaged into playing cautious basketball, like there's constant noise in her ear telling her, "Don't shoot that," instead of letting her read and react freely. Run the play, stick to the script, but it's stripping away everything that made her dangerous. You can build structure without killing creativity, yet right now it feels like she's in a system that doesn't trust her instincts. Meanwhile, Becky Hammon actively adjusted, rotated, and made in-game changes, while Stephanie White stayed mostly passive, sticking to the same lineups and schemes even as momentum shifted. That lack of response is why these close games keep slipping away. Clark is clearly a generational talent, but she's being treated like just another piece instead of being fully empowered and supported. The bigger concern is how long she can carry this load without real adjustments around her.